Alright, so Madhuri Dixit is back and she stars in an interesting story about how fame isn't always as glamorous as it seems. What's going on, everybody? Thanks for clicking, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel for more movies and TV reviews. The Fame Game is an Indian Hindi thriller drama TV series on Netflix. The Fame Game revolves around the disappearance of fictional actress Anamika Anand, who is played by Madhuri Dixit. With her disappearance, the secrets of her seemingly perfect life slowly start to unravel. Now, the series has multiple revelations lined up one after the other, from Anamika's childhood to her son's sexual identity. It's like the show didn't know what to really focus on. The show's first few episodes are really captivating and immediately introduce the audience to the potential real life of Bollywood stars. I mean, the show does a really good job in showing us regular folks the challenges these high-profile celebrities actually face. And for the most part, they're similar to ours, like maintaining good relationships, being good parents, and most of all, just trying to be happy in life. However, the main difference is that these celebrities are constantly under the microscope, and any flaw in their seemingly perfect life is publicized and scrutinized. And I guess this is one of the strong points of the show. It shines a light on the life of superstars and helps us realize that it's not always as good and glamorous as it appears. Now, Madhuri Dixit is still the star of the show. After all these years, her acting, her beauty, her dancing is still on point. Her character is believable because she is in a way kind of playing herself. Character is an actress who withstood almost 30 years in the film industry, similar to Madhuri, and honestly, I don't know how she did it, but it's actually quite impressive. The show has some good supporting actors, such as Suhasini Murray, who plays Madhuri's manipulative mother, Sanjay Kapoor, who plays her emasculated husband, and Laxveer Saran, who plays her teenage son. Now, these characters elevated the show with their on-screen performances. Speaking of supporting characters, not all of them are good. The investigating police officer's character came off unnecessarily arrogant and is not as smart as she thinks she is. She thinks she's some super detective, but in reality, she's not. I think she only brings a redeeming value to the story at the end, and that's only because of the mercy of the show writers. For a show that starts off as a thriller, it quickly becomes a boring drama because it tries to cover too much of social issues, such as mental health to nepotism and then to sexual orientations of a teenager. All these issues slowed the main story down. For example, there's a couple of scenes of intimacy between two highly dysfunctional teenagers interjected in the middle of a major investigation breakthrough. I mean, is this really necessary? Like, there's a time and place for these types of scenes, and this show got those timings wrong. Alright, so the other problems I had with the show will require me to get into a little bit of spoiler territory. So I'm going to be throwing up a spoiler warning up here. Skip past it if you don't want to hear spoilers, or continue watching. Alright, so here's the spoiler warning. 3, 2, 1. So there's like this major storyline that completely gets ignored. The murder victim is Madhuri Dixit's makeup guy. I think his name's Billy. So he gets murdered and is totally forgotten halfway through the series. The killer, who's a suspicious teenager, is shown wandering around the high-profile missing person's house, and the police don't even investigate him. Like, what? And how convenient is the conclusion that the investigating cop can figure out everything about the case in the last 15 minutes of the show by watching a clip of a movie that the actress stars in? The conclusion of the story isn't fleshed out. It sort of comes out of nowhere. I mean, the writers didn't really establish this cop's crime deduction abilities in the series. Therefore, it's hard to believe that this cop all of a sudden can solve this case just like that. I think the show should have focused more on the crime-solving aspect of the story and a little less on the family drama. Alright, so let's get real here. The show needed more of a payoff at the end for taking the audience on such a long and sometimes dull ride. The story lacks the strength and novelty that was expected from a big star like Madhuri Dixit. I mean, don't get me wrong, Madhuri carries this show as much as she can, and her chemistry with her co-star Sanjay Kapoor is good, but ultimately, that's not enough. The ending of the show leaves room for a second season, but honestly, I'm in no rush to watch it. Overall, I'm disappointed at how much the show dragged. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed my review, and remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace!